At a railway station in a busy city, there lived a beggar. Every day he survived by asking for alms from passengers sitting in trains that came and went from the station. Whatever people gave him was enough to fill his stomach for the day. One day, while he was begging in a train, he noticed a tall man wearing an elegant suit and polished shoes. The beggar thought to himself, "This man looks very rich. If I ask him for alms, he will surely give me a good amount of money." So he approached the man and asked for alms. The tall man looked at the beggar and calmly said, "You are always asking from others. Do you ever give something to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I am a beggar. I only ask from people. How could I possibly give something to someone? I don't have that kind of ability." The tall man said, "If you cannot give anything to anyone, then you also have no right to ask for anything. I am a businessman and I believe in exchange. If you have something to give me, then only I will give you something in return." After saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. The beggar kept thinking about the man's words. Those words touched his heart deeply. He began to wonder if the reason he never received much money was because he never gave anything in return. "But I am a beggar," he thought. "What can I possibly give to anyone?" He kept thinking about this question for 2 days, but he couldn't find an answer. On the third day, while sitting near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming on the plants around the area. Suddenly, an idea came to his mind. Why not give flowers to people in return for the alms they give me? He liked this idea. So he picked some flowers and went to the train again. Now, whenever someone gave him money, he would give them a few flowers in return. People happily accepted the flowers and kept them with them. From that day on, the beggar started plucking flowers every morning and giving them to people in exchange for alms. Soon, he noticed something surprising. More and more people started giving him money. As long as he had flowers, people gladly gave him money. But once the flowers ran out, people stopped giving him alms. This continued for many days. One day, while begging in a train, he saw the same tall man again. The man whose words had inspired him to give flowers in return. The beggar quickly approached him and said, "Sir, today I have some flowers to give you. If you give me some money, I will give you these flowers in return." The tall man smiled, gave him some money, and the beggar handed him the flowers. The tall man looked pleased and said, "Wonderful! Today you have become a businessman just like me." After saying this, he got down at the next station. But once again, the man's words sank deep into the beggar's heart. He kept thinking about them again and again. His eyes sparkled with excitement. He suddenly felt as if he had discovered the key to success. The beggar immediately got off the train, looked up at the sky, and shouted loudly, "I am not a beggar. I am a businessman. I can become rich too." People around him thought the beggar had gone mad. And from the next day, that beggar was never seen at that station again. 6 months later, 2 well-dressed men wearing suits were traveling on the same train. They looked at each other, and one of them shook hands with the other and said, "Do you recognize me?" The other man replied, "No, I think we are meeting for the first time." The first man smiled and said, "No, this is actually the 3rd time we are meeting." The second man looked puzzled and asked, "When did we meet before?" The first man smiled again and said, "We met twice before in this very train. I am the same beggar whom you once told what I should do in life. And during our second meeting, you told me who I truly was." The second man suddenly remembered and said in surprise, "Oh yes, now I remember. You are the same beggar to whom I once refused to give alms. And the second time I bought some flowers from you. But today you are wearing a suit. Where are you going and what do you do now?" The man replied, "Yes, I am the same beggar. But today I am a big flower merchant. I am traveling to another city for my business." After a short pause, he continued, "In our first meeting, you taught me the rule of nature, that we receive something only when we give something. This rule of exchange truly works. I experienced it in my life, but I always thought of myself as a beggar. I never believed I could be anything more. When we met the second time, you said that I had become a businessman. That was the moment I realized that people were not giving me alms. They were actually paying for the flowers I was giving them. To them, I was a small flower seller. But in my own mind, I was still a beggar. When you said I was a businessman, I finally understood who I really was." He then explained that with the money he had saved from giving flowers on the train, he bought more flowers and started a small flower business. Slowly, his business grew bigger and bigger, and people loved buying flowers from him. Today, he had become a successful flower merchant. Both businessmen were happy. When the train reached the station, they got down together and continued talking about business as they walked away. Moral of the story: this story teaches us a powerful lesson. The tall businessman understood the simple rule of life, the rule of giving and receiving. All successful people follow this rule. When the beggar changed his thinking and started giving something to others, his life began to change. The truth is simple: if we keep thinking small about ourselves, we will remain small. But when we change our mindset and start thinking bigger, our life can transform. Success often begins with a change in our thinking. Believe in yourself, value yourself, and you may discover that the path to success was always within you.